What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over 5 tips you can use to improve your health today. All right, so let's get right into it. These are 5 tips that you can implement today, like starting right now, that'll drastically improve your health, your fitness, your overall mood, and whatever your goal is, it'll help you reach that too. So number 1 is goal setting. It's so important to know not only where you're going, but why you're going. So when you're setting your goals, you want to keep a couple things in mind. You want one, that you have a very broad view of what you want. Like, I want to be healthier, I want to feel better, I want my mood to improve, I want to lose weight, I want to be stronger. Those are big, kind of vague, but important goals to have. The next step is you want very specific goals. Like, I want to lose X amount of pounds. I want to be able to do 5 pull-ups. I want to be able to run a marathon. I want to fit into this dress or wear these pants or whatever. Something very specific that you can track. Now, you also want a timeline. So you don't want to say, like, I want to lose 20 pounds and then just leave it up to chance that you're going to do it. Most people fail because of that. So instead you say, I want to lose 20 pounds in 4 months, or I want to be able to do 5 pull-ups by November. That timeline will hold you accountable and also help you when you're laying out your plan on how you want to get there. And most importantly, you need to know why you're doing it. That requires a bit more internal work and sitting with yucky feelings and really understanding what you're after and for what purpose it's going to serve your life. And your goals also need to be realistic. I mean, shoot for the stars, aim as high as you want, give 120%, all of those nonsense platitudes. Don't hold yourself back with your goals, but at the same time, don't make them so unattainable that you always fail, that you're setting yourself up to fail. You need to set goals that you can actually hit, even if that means like very small incremental steps, so you're building upon your last success. It's important to do that. Otherwise, you get discouraged and you stop. Because here's the thing about your goals. You're gonna lose sight of them sometimes. You're gonna not care about them sometimes. Some days you hate working on your health and fitness. So having these goals, writing them out, will hold you accountable. When you have those days, you can read that piece of paper or watch yourself in a video saying these things and then remember why you're doing it. I say it a lot, but motivation is a luxury. It's amazing when it's there. Inspiration and motivation is like this beautiful thing that kind of comes and goes, and you can't rely on it in order for you to do your work. So set some goals, write them down, or make a video of you repeating them to yourself. All right, the second tip is one of the most important things you can do for your life, and it is consistently something that I get a ton of resistance on. I know it sounds crazy, but you need to drink water. Water improves blood and oxygen circulation throughout your body. It improves cognitive function, digestion, mood. It's filling. It keeps your skin hydrated and moist and looking young. It lubricates your joints and reduces muscle soreness. It improves kidney function, prevents kidney stones, maintains your blood pressure, boosts performance when you work out. So here's the basic model. And you don't have to start with this today, but you can work up to it. But for sure, start with some of this. Very simple. Within 30 minutes of waking up, have a glass of water. About every hour, have a glass of water. And then 30 minutes before bed, have a glass of water. That'll get you roughly around a gallon a day. Now, whether or not you're drinking cold or room temperature water is totally up to you. There's pros and cons to both, but they're really insignificant to the fact that you just need to drink some water. All right, tip number 3 is to keep your eating window between 9 and 12 hours. So that means the first thing you put in your mouth, other than water, starts that clock. So let's say 8 a.m. you have coffee. That clock has started. I know there are some people who are like anything under 5 calories doesn't start the clock. It's just not true. Scientifically, it's not true. So anything other than water will start and stop this clock. So if your first non-water intake is at 8 a.m., that means your last non-water intake needs to be between 5 and 8 p.m. Pretty simple. So why do this? Well, having that shorter eating window will, one, just usually naturally reduce your calorie intake. You're not eating as long, so you're probably eating less, as long as you're not binging at any point. When you stop eating earlier, you'll usually get tired and go to bed earlier. So now you're already improving your sleep, plus eliminating more time when you might have normally been eating. Having a shorter eating window and a longer fasting window improves cognitive function, reduces inflammation, gives your body more time to digest and detoxify. And there is some data to suggest that having a longer fasting window and a shorter eating window increases lean muscle mass. Now, your individual schedule might be different, so maybe 8 a.m. to 5 or 6 or 7 p.m. doesn't work for you, and you might have to adjust that to you specifically, which is fine. More or less, if you can keep yourself eating between 9 and 12 hours, you're in pretty good shape. Which brings us to tip number 4, sleep. Now, I've struggled with sleep forever. My entire life. As a kid, had insomnia, always dealt with it. It's always been a struggle. But it's something I do actively work on, and when I'm really putting focus into it, my skin is better, my mood is better, my performance when I'm working out is better, just the way I relate to people is better, I'm sharper, more focused, my digestion is better. Everything is improved with sleep. Not sleeping ages your body and your mind tremendously, so it is so vital that we actually put sincere effort and focus and structure into our sleep schedule. So if you're drinking a lot of water and you're eating between 9 and 12 hours, towards the end of the night, you're going to feel ready to go to bed. The other part of this is at some point you need to turn off your screens. We get so much stimulation all day. We're always staring at screens, our phones, our computers, our TVs. We're constantly taking in information. And that causes a tremendous amount of stimulus and anxiety. We end up searching for it to maintain this high level of serotonin and dopamine that it's releasing. It's like, when you're looking at a rat in a cage, just constantly hitting a buzzer to get pellets. We are doing the same thing. And it's really important that we shut that off at a certain point. So whether that means you physically turn off your phone, or you stick it in another room, or you turn off your computer, at least an hour, but usually 2 to 3 hours before bed, it's going to benefit your life immeasurably. There's no more profound thing you can do than get good sleep. And one of the ways to get good sleep is by actually committing to it, not making it you just stay up as long as you can until you pass out. When you don't sleep well, it actually affects your ability to make good decisions. So the next day after not sleeping well, you're probably more likely to not drink water, you're more likely to eat poor food. So practice good sleep. Now, you might not connect with this next bit directly, but I hope it resonates with you enough to help you in this process. So I'm a father, and with my son, after dinner, we have a routine that's the same every single night. Brush our teeth, take a bath, go on the couch and read, and then he goes to bed, I sing to him, he falls to sleep. It's the same every night. Not only is the pattern the same every night, the time is the same every night. He's in bed and asleep by 8 o'clock until the next morning when he gets up around 6:30 or 7. So he has a tremendous amount of consistent, restful sleep. It's so important to me that he gets that I even have anxiety if I feel like I'm not running that schedule close enough. Like it's pushing too far back, I'm moving too slow. I start to feel anxious, like, oh no, he's not going to get that sleep. Which is great, but the problem is I often don't apply that same level of care for myself. So a simple question to ask if you have kids, or even just any loved one that you look after, is what would it feel like and what would happen if you treated yourself to the same love and care that you give to these other people? I know that's an easy question to just kind of gloss over, but really sit with that. Spend some time with it and see how you feel. See what comes up. Maybe that'll influence you in all of these decisions, getting better sleep, drinking more water, etc. And now we've arrived at our last tip for health that you can start today. This is kind of like a two-parter. So the first part is just having some exercise every day. It doesn't have to be super intense workouts. You don't have to be a bodybuilder or be into, high intensity interval training or kickboxing. You don't have to do that. It's great if you do, but it's not necessary. So it could just be you go for a long walk or a small hike or maybe a jog, or you like swimming or you some aerobic workout. It doesn't have to be crazy. A 10, 20, or 30-minute workout every day is plenty. It's a cumulative effort. That's what we're looking for. I say this all the time, but one workout will not make you. One salad will not change you. It's 100 workouts, 100 salads. It's a cumulative effort. Small, healthy choices repeated daily. But one of the most common problems with working out is not keeping track. So you go like, oh, I worked out yesterday, when really it might have been a week or a month or 2 months ago. But in your head, you're saying like, nah, it was just a couple days ago. So what I do for myself and with all my clients is I have them make a calendar, not on a piece of paper, not on an actual calendar, not on their phone, but instead on a mirror. So for me, I take painter's tape and I tape off a grid. Okay, I have 5 weeks, because some months have 5 weeks, and 7 days. Every day that I work out, I make an X. On the days that I don't work out, I leave it blank. Now, all of our specific goals might be different. Maybe working out 7 days a week isn't a part of your plan. But if you can do 2 to 3 times a week, it will have a profound effect on your life. Okay, so why not a piece of paper? Why not your phone? Why not the computer? Why a mirror? It's fairly simple. On the days that you make that X, you have to look at yourself and make the X. And you have to see yourself making that accomplishment. We often don't give ourselves credit for making accomplishments, for having a goal and following through. So every time you make that X, you are reinforcing while looking at yourself in the mirror that you did the thing that you said you were going to do, and it's just for you. It's a very positive thing. On the flip side, when you don't make that X, you have to look at yourself and say why. I don't mean that in some crazy judgmental, shameful, like antagonistic, why didn't you make the X way? I mean it in a very honest and open discussion type of way. I didn't make the X. Why didn't I make the X? And then when you're about to say that subscribed excuse of I didn't have time or I'm too tired, you also have to look at yourself saying it. This is a very powerful tool. And I guarantee you, if you do that, you will have a significant increase in your consistency. Now, I recommend doing it on a bathroom mirror. Sometimes people do it on like their closet mirror or something like that, or a mirror they can kind of pass by without looking at. And then you end up avoiding it and you don't care, and it basically doesn't serve a purpose. But if you put it on a mirror you have to be in front of every day, like your bathroom mirror, you're bound to feel that pressure and feel that accountability and make the choices so you want to make the X. Because not making an X represents you not going after the thing that you want and not putting your health and fitness first. The calendar also lets you see where your troubles are. So if you look at the end of the month and you're like, oh wow, every Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not working out. What's going on there? I said I want to work out 5 times a week, but I'm missing consistently, 3 to 4 days that are the same days. What's going on? Then it allows you to look at your schedule and see where you're going wrong and make adjustments so you can correct it. And there we go. Those are 5 tips you can use today to improve your health. As always, please feel free to follow me on Instagram at InstagramBaker, Twitter at GrahamBaker, and my website, grahambaker.com. Thanks so much for watching. Be well, do good, make healthy choices. Peace.